When I was a kid, my mom told me that I was gonna have to stop using words like pee-pee and poo-poo if I ever wanted people to take me seriously. Sorry, Mom, because today we're gonna talk about pee-pee problems. Sexual performance anxiety is a topic that's really difficult for anybody to talk about because it can just be so embarrassing. Unfortunately for my neighbors that I share a wall with, that's exactly what we're gonna be talking about today. By the end of this video, I think you guys are gonna feel a lot more confident about dealing with your own sexual performance anxiety. Let's dive right into the meat of the topic here and talk about what sexual performance anxiety is and why we experience it in the first place. Now, I apologize in advance. Being a guy, most of this video is going to be from the male perspective, but if you're a female experiencing sexual performance anxiety yourself, feel free to tweak just a couple of the words. A lot of this stuff will still be applicable, even though you might experience it in a different way. Now, for men, sexual performance anxiety is typically going to take the form of either premature ejaculation or erectile dysfunction, just not being able to get it up and perform in bed. The reason we're feeling this in the first place, assuming you're a young, healthy male that shouldn't be experiencing these things, which you should rule out any health concerns with a doctor first. But if this sexual performance anxiety is what's causing your erectile dysfunction, the issue here is that we're viewing sex as a performance. Just like it's harder to give a speech when 1,000 people are looking at us versus just delivering a speech in front of the mirror, we're viewing this act that should be very simple as a performance, and we don't want to let the other person down. Our society puts such an emphasis on being impressive in the bedroom that we really feel like a failure if we can't live up to those expectations, and that's what makes us just so stressed out that we're not able to relax and have fun in this, what should be the most fun we're ever gonna do. Like the peak of fun should be in the bedroom. So it's really important that we kind of adjust our mindset here and be open to relaxing and having fun and not viewing it as such a performance. When we experience anxiety, our fight or flight response kicks in, which pumps blood away from our organs and to our extremities, like our hands and legs, because we're getting ready to fight or flee from that situation. As you could imagine, having blood pump away from your vital organs is going to be extremely detrimental to trying to perform in the bedroom. So it's really, really important that you're able to ground yourself and overcome this anxiety if you're ever going to be able to perform in the bedroom at all. But before you get too nervous, fortunately, there are many ways that we can overcome sexual performance anxiety, and I promise you by the end of this video, you're gonna feel a lot more comfortable doing just that. One of the most crucial steps for conquering sexual performance anxiety is to just realize how not alone you are. It might feel like we're alone when dealing with these things, but that's just because it's kind of a taboo topic that people don't really want to talk about. However, an estimated 9 to 25% of all men experience sexual performance anxiety, and an estimated 6 to 16% of women experience sexual performance anxiety. Now, like I mentioned earlier, for men, it's usually in the form of either premature ejaculation or erectile dysfunction. And for women, it's usually just a severely inhibited sexual desire or libido. I really want to hone in on this for a minute because I think that this is something people just sweep under the rug. You're really not alone here. Just because people don't advertise this, I mean, who wants to talk about experiencing sexual performance anxiety? We want everyone to think that we're the epitome of virility. Like everybody, you want to be a sex stud, sex icon stud. Everybody does. So obviously you don't want to talk about, hey, I'm having issues in the bedroom. But the fact is, if you actually reach out and talk to your friends about this, you'd probably be surprised that when you allow yourself to be vulnerable and open up about something, other people tend to reciprocate and tell you some secrets of their own. And this is something I do all the time and find out that, hey, you're really not alone. Like this person has felt the exact same way, but neither of us have talked about it with each other. And I think that's why it's really good that now people are getting into more mental health awareness. And this falls right into category with that, where people just don't talk about it, but it's a lot more common than you think. Just to emphasize how not alone you are here, I want to lead by example and tell you that I myself have experienced sexual performance anxiety a number of times. And not just when I was completely sexually experienced, but even when I was very experienced, having had many sexual partners, there were times in my life where I was just a little bit more stressed out or anxious than usual, and these kind of issues would resurface. Usually not for long, but still, they would be disconcerting and not enjoyable, and it's something that I didn't talk to anyone about, so no one would have thought that I was ever experiencing anything like that. So if you are experiencing it, don't think that you're alone. There's plenty of people just like me that quietly just deal with these things on their own in private, but you're not alone and you're not weird for it. In fact, early on in my sexual career, it's not a career. I didn't make money doing it, but Early on in my sexual history, my sexual past, with my first handful of sexual partners, hookups, I was a bit nervous and I didn't perform that well. And some of those girls even went on to spread rumors that surely I must be gay, because there is no way that, God forbid anybody think that maybe they just weren't pretty enough. I guess it's all on the guy, but that will happen and that's okay. It's just something that you have to accept and move on. And find the right partners who do actually make you comfortable in the bedroom and don't put too much pressure on you to make you feel like you need to perform, but rather just help you loosen up in a way that makes it an enjoyable experience for all parties involved. This leads me to my next point, which is also my number one tip for great sex. If you want, I know how corny this sounds, but communication. Effective communication is the number one key to great sex. If you don't want to have mediocre, crappy sex, communicate with your partner. Learn to find someone you can talk to. So when I was having sexual performance anxiety, it was with girls that I really didn't know very well, and I knew that, oh man, if I don't do great, they're gonna go tell their friends. Like, I'm in college, these are girls in sororities and stuff, like they're gonna go spread rumors to their friends and stuff, and this would just put a ton of pressure on me that I felt like, oh man, if I don't do great, everybody's gonna know about it. Don't put yourself in that kind of situation if that's something that's going to make you uncomfortable. Try to find somebody that you can really communicate effectively with and share some type of connection. It doesn't have to be a long-term partner, but just make sure you can communicate with them effectively. Because the biggest problem with sexual performance anxiety is the fact that both partners tend to silently blame themselves. So the person experiencing sexual performance anxiety will typically be like, just in their head, like, oh man, this never happens. I swear this never happens. I don't know what's going on. And they're panicking in their head, and then it's setting them up for failure down the road, because now the next time they're going to think, oh, what if that happens to me again? You got to calm down, take it slow. And then the other person, the partner that they're with, is usually going to think that it's their fault. Oh, maybe I'm not good enough looking. What can I do differently? Why aren't, all the other guys I was with were fine. How come this person can't perform with me? It must be something wrong with me. So if you guys don't communicate, you're both going to blame yourselves and then grow to resent each other. And that kind of goes into like the times in the past where I had experienced sexual performance anxiety and the girls were saying, oh, he must be gay. Well, they probably wouldn't have said that if I just explained to them, hey, look, it's not you. It's just I'm kind of stressed out. I deal with anxiety. Like I'm just stressed out right now. I can't really relax. And they'd probably be like, oh, okay, if it's not me, I don't have to feel defensive. Like, oh, well, I'm pretty enough. He's just gay, etc. So by communicating, you can kind of nip those issues in the bud right away. Anxiety has this nagging issue to make us think that we need to keep it a secret, but we don't. You can express to your partner that you are just experiencing anxiety, and if they are a good sexual partner, they're going to help work through it with you. It also helps to separate yourself a bit from the issue. Find some humor in it. You can joke and be like, like, oh, I guess he's not coming out to play today. Like, whatever you want to say, you can find humor in the situation and just accept, hey, I'm just a little anxious. And by doing that, don't think you have a timer on you that you have to do this right now or else. Just joke about it, laugh about it, talk, slow down for a little bit, and give it some time. Don't put so much pressure on you to perform right away. Find some humor in the situation and just wait things out. Here's another major tip for you. Take care of your partner in other ways. Don't think that your penis is the be-all, end-all. If you can't get your penis hard, nobody can have fun. That's not the case. Guess what? Your fingers don't have to get hard. Your tongue doesn't have to get hard. There's plenty of other ways to help your partner get off or reach orgasm. And there's studies that show that while about 90% of men orgasm from vaginal penetrative sex, only about 50% of women can actually reach orgasm through regular penetrative sex. So that means there's all these other things that they want you to be doing that your partner might want. So communicate with them, ask them how you can help them get off, how you can help them finish, or just have a little bit more fun, even if you are experiencing sexual performance anxiety. And ideally, while you're doing these things, which you should be doing anyway, you shouldn't be jumping right in. You should be warming them up with, teasing, role play, fetishes, etc., etc. But there's so many other things that you can do that while you're doing them, you're probably going to wind up getting aroused. You just want to get your mind off of, oh, get this thing hard. Why won't this thing get hard? Just be patient, have fun doing something else, take care of your partner in other ways, because if I was smart enough to do that in college, I probably wouldn't have gotten those bad reviews. My next tip for you guys is a little controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. I like to always have an excuse handy, and I know that this is a lie, and it kind of contradicts what I just said about effectively communicating with your partner, but I know that not everybody's gonna be there yet. I know not everybody is going to feel confident enough to say, hey, I'm experiencing sexual performance anxiety right now. That's what's going on. And if you're one of those people that just has too much pride to just say that outright, sometimes it can be helpful to have some kind of excuse handy, whether it be that whiskey dick from drinking too much alcohol, experiencing sexual side effects from a medication or a recent surgery, or maybe you're just really tired from a hard day at work, you've been extremely stressed out recently, you just got out of a long-term relationship and you're not used to hookups or something like that. These are just excuses that I've found helpful to keep handy. Sometimes if I have a new sexual partner, I'll just be like, yeah, let's give it a shot, but I'm pretty tired today or whatever. If I just have any kind of doubt in my head, like I know it's not like the coolest move in the world, but it's something that at least it might make you feel a little bit more confident that you're setting the bar, the expectation a little lower, rather than being like, I never say to a girl, hey lady, I'm gonna blow your mind, because now her expectations are all the way up here, and if I can't be 100%, she's gonna be disappointed. I'd rather be like, hey, just so you know, I'm on some medication right now, I don't know, I think I should be fine, but the doctor said there might be some side effects, and then all of a sudden, you do pretty good, and she's like, wow, you did pretty good. So, I mean, that's my take on it. I know that's gonna be a controversial opinion, but sometimes just having some type of excuse handy and setting that bar a little lower takes a ton of pressure off you. My next tip is to loosen up with either a stress supplement or just something that helps you relax. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not gonna go into this too much here. Something I've taken in the past just to help me feel more confident and relax is a supplement called Phenibut. You can learn more about that on my website or on another video on this channel, but I'm not gonna get into it too much here, but it's just something that would always make me feel a little bit better, a little bit more confident if I needed a little extra confidence boost and a little bit less anxiousness. But a lot of people will also take things like just having a couple of drinks of alcohol, and that can work too. I'm not a doctor, like I said, so you got to talk to your doctor about that stuff. But I know that sometimes just having a little something to help you loosen up a little bit can really do wonders for you in the bedroom. And just like the anti-stress supplements, we also have male enhancement supplements. I don't need to tell you guys anything about this. You already know, and you already know that's something you have to talk to your doctor about, but I'll tell you straight up, that's something that even in college and stuff, obviously physically, 110%, I'm in the prime of my life, able to sexually perform, don't have any issues getting hard or anything like that. However, I would know that sometimes I would just be feeling a little bit anxious, and it might help to have that little blue pill in the back pocket or something like that, or that little yellow pill in the back pocket, just to know if you meet the girl of your dreams that night, that you're gonna be able to take that and be okay and not even risk, because it's such an extreme effect that even if you're anxious, you're gonna be okay. So it's just something for you to consider. Again, not a doctor, talk to your doctor about that, but just having something in the back pocket has helped me on more than one occasion. Next tip, wait until the morning. I don't know why we always put so much pressure on us to perform right then and there, as if you both aren't gonna just fall asleep and do it again in the morning. Actually, our testosterone peaks in the morning and steadily declines throughout the day. So it's at its lowest by the time we're at the bar talking to that girl and bringing her home to hook up. In the morning, your odds of being aroused, morning wood, are gonna be a lot higher. So give it another shot in the morning. If things just aren't working out at night, just say, hey, I guess I'm tired. Like, I don't really know what's happening, but try again in the morning. And she'll probably be like, yeah, try again in the morning. Next tip, adjust the lighting in the room. This is something that's so easy to overlook, but here's what I mean. Now, I am a very visual person, as I think most guys tend to be. I like lights on. I like to see exactly what I'm looking at. I like to, whatever. I like the lights on. And I know a lot of girls, a lot of females, at least the ones that I've been with, tend to like the lights a little dimmer or off. They're just, maybe especially on a one-night stand or something like that, they're not all as sexually confident. Obviously, I'm generalizing here, but not everybody is going to have the same comfort level with the lights on or off. A fair compromise, I think, that works for everybody is just to have dim lights. Something that I used to do in college, obviously I'm too old for this now, but I had a lava lamp by the side of my bed because I found like it was just the perfect amount of lighting. It would just dimly light the room enough that the girl would feel not exposed and I would feel like, I see what I want to see. I remember what your face looks like. It's just not a mystery flavor airhead. I know what's going on. I see everything I want to see. So if you think that that would affect you in any way, just consider how you could adjust the lighting to improve your situation. Also, as an added bonus, I used to be at the bar. I was such a tool. I would be at the bar like, that was one of my closing lines. I'd just be like, I have a lava lamp at home if you want to see it. And she would be like, what? God, this guy's so weird. He's lucky he's kind of cute. Yeah, I love lava lamps. Next tip, bring the action outside the bedroom. So anytime we're having any kind of panic attack or anxiety, I like to recommend just changing your environment, because sometimes just that change of scenery is enough sensory stimulation to pull you out of your head and ground you in reality. The same thing happens when it comes to sexual performance anxiety. If the bedroom is just being associated with these negative vibes of not being able to sexually perform, hop in the shower together, go in the kitchen together, like just try it anywhere. Get a little freaky with it and see if a change of environment kind of gives you a fresh start, hits the reset button and gets you ready to go. Next tip, stop watching porn. Porn is so, especially like in the digital age of online porn, it's just so everywhere that I think we're all addicted to it. We're all addicted to porn and masturbation, and I think it plays a pretty serious role in affecting our sexual performance and just giving us this weird, our brains just no longer associate actual sex with arousal. They're associating porn with arousal. I do recommend that you guys, if you feel you have a problem watching a lot of porn or masturbating often, try to cut that stuff out and see, even for a couple of weeks, how it affects you. I know if I go a while without it, if I a couple of weeks without any kind of sexual involvement, I'm like a different person. I'm just way more thirsty. I don't know, ready to go, aroused, whatever you want to call it. So just try to give it a break. Give the porn, masturbation a break for a while and see how it affects your body and your mind. Next tip is pretty general to anxiety overall, but control your breathing. A lot of times when we're anxious, we're not thinking about the fact that we're either breathing, over breathing, or not breathing enough. I like to recommend 4-7-8 breathing, which is just breathing in for 4 seconds through your nose, holding that breath for 7 seconds, and exhaling through your mouth slowly for 8 seconds. You repeat this cycle a couple of times until you just feel a lot calmer, because doing this is supposed to activate your parasympathetic nervous system and just help you calm down and feel a little bit less anxious. And I think I'm ready to wrap it up here, guys, because while there are some other tips I can think of, I don't want to bore you forever. This is already a pretty long video. I will link below to the full article if you want to get some more tips or just read about any of these tips in further detail. But for now, I think that should be enough. I think if you implement these tips, just take it slow, communicate with your partner, and try some of these things out, it's gonna make a big difference in your sexual performance and really crush that sexual performance anxiety you might be experiencing. I promise you guys, even if it seems rough or difficult right now, it's not gonna be a phobia of yours forever. It is something that you're gonna get on top of and eventually look back and be able to laugh about it the way I am today. If this was helpful to you guys, remember there's a lot of other people suffering from this that are afraid to talk about it. So be that person that steps up and be that mental health advocate. Share this with a friend. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if this was helpful to you. That way I know what works for you guys, what kind of content you like and what you want to see more of. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. I will catch you next time.